Have you ever experienced corruption in Germany is what we're going to be talking about today. This is off of the subreddit r/Germany. I normally dive into things like this. So if you guys find this interesting, go ahead and like the video, subscribe. We're going to get into this. And I want you guys to share your experiences in the comments down below. I am still currently learning German, but let's go ahead and dive into this and see what the context is. So right here it says, I saw the news today that some European Parliament members got arrested for corruption. I emigrated from India, where I had to pay bribes to officers, bureaucrats, to process my driver's license, police to approve my application for passport processing, etc. I know that high-level bribery corruption exists in Germany too, with stuff like the BER airport scandal and Volkswagen emission, etc. I've lived in Berlin for over 5 years and have experienced some parts of the process of bureaucracy frustration and some limited racism, but never corruption. However, I wonder if there's any presence of corruption in Germany at a day-to-day level that affects normal citizens, like I mentioned in my example. Keep in mind that corruption can also be an exchange of favors and may not always be straight up in exchange of money. It's interesting that this topic got brought up because I remember when I used to do Serbian reactions and stuff like that, I did get into kind of a political side of things and whatnot, and people were saying that a lot of times in Serbia, for instance, some of the cops can be bought. Like if you do something crazy or whatever, you can just give them some cash and they'll look the other way and then whatever. I haven't really heard too much about Germany and corruption kind of like fitting in the same sentence recently, but I know that there are a lot of things that probably do kind of slip through the cracks and whatnot. I haven't really heard anything, but if you guys know anything that's been going on or whatever, you can kind of detail your experience in the comments down below. I kind of want to look at the good, the bad, the ugly when it comes to different countries and stuff like that. I don't want people to think I'm glamorizing or just completely dunking on different countries. So we're going to be looking at the comments and then kind of going from there. If you guys, resonate with any of these comments, go ahead and let me know. So the first comment right here has a lot of likes, has like 500 likes, man. And it says the classical direct payment, aka suitcase full of money, is pretty rare in Germany. The norm is giving jobs, lucrative contracts, or other benefits to friends, family, or the people you want bribed. This happens all the way from the high-level politicians to low-level village mayors. And the comment underneath that co-signs this statement by saying, this is the correct answer. Most of our corruption happens in the form of a quid pro quo kind of deal. The construction business owner who is buddies with the local police chief gets suspiciously more often away with traffic controls than other citizens. On the other hand, was the construction process of the new house of the police chief remarkable quick. Wait a minute. On the other hand, was the construction process of the new house of the police chief remarkably quick. An MP gets surprisingly quick new job in the company who won a bit of a project with a super specific requirement only this company could fulfill. This is the kind of deal. Corruption is real in Germany. You just need to know the right person first. So basically saying that, like, if you know the right people in general, you can get things done faster. You can get away with a lot. But this also seems like something that happens in every country to some degree. In America, it's the same way. If you're best friends with a police officer and that friend that is, a police officer is also super tightly woven within their precinct, then you pretty much can get away with anything. There was a case here in America. Well, I'm actually in Korea right now, but there was a case in America where there was a child, or he was like basically like, a teenager, and he got into a disagreement with another individual, and he wound up accidentally unaliving him with a heavy weight plate. They were in the weight room arguing, and the arguing turned into a fight, and the kid got mad. He grabbed a 45-pound weight plate and cracked it over the other kid's head. The kid was officially unalived, and he was freaking out. So he called his dad, who was a police officer, and the dad, who was a police officer, and once again, really cool with the precinct he was in, they were able to cover the whole thing up for a while. They took the body, they took out all the innards of the person who was unalived. They drove him to a forest. They put the body there. They stuffed the carcass with newspaper. They removed the fingernails, the teeth, everything. So if it was to get dug up, then they wouldn't have any identifying factors and stuff like that. They, I think, partially cauterized the body as well. So it was real gruesome stuff. Well, I guess it took 3 months of this kid that had gone missing. They'd literally gone missing for them to find the body. But the way they found the body wasn't in a it was literally like the craziest possible turn of events ever. Apparently the kid's friend wound up spilling the beans, because the kid that wound up unaliving the other kid wound up confessing to his friend what happened and how bad he felt and how he was paranoid that somebody might find whatever. Well, he told the friend, and the friend was disgusted. So the friend immediately reported it to the police with all the gruesome details and stuff, and the police were able to find the carcass, and it was crazy. So all this to say that corruption does exist, obviously. It happens in various ways, shapes, and forms, and I think the most common is by association. Who are you friends with? Who are you close with? You're going to have a lot more favor if you are close with a lot of people than if you're not. If you work your way up through the regular means that everybody else does, you work hard, you get promoted, even if you're the most unlikable person, you'll still get promoted. However, let's say you're a likable person that doesn't quite meet the requirements of a business. Another form of corruption, like I said, similarly as it relates to what I've been saying, is just knowing the right people. You can make, higher positions and stuff very quickly. You could promote very quickly if you're best friends and super close with all of the higher ups at the company you work at. They will go out of their way to try to promote you by any means and make exceptions. You will be the exception to the rule, and it's insane. So this happening in Germany is not a surprise because this happens everywhere else. I'm going to continue reading some comments. We have this one right here. Let's scroll down. Let's actually hit this one. I remember my father giving a construction worker a crate of beer, so he accidentally made a road 2 centimeters wider. I mean, hey, that's where corruption kind of works in your favor, you know what I'm saying? All right, next one is, I have never in my entire life heard of anybody bribing a regular person in Germany. As others have stated, corruption in Germany is for the upper echelons only. No bribing policemen out of a speed ticket here. That's also, I could see that being true. It depends on who, though, because most people, I would venture to say, wouldn't take a bribe. But imagine a police officer pulls you over and, someone's like, hey, man, listen, I have 20,000 euro that I can cash app you right now. I can cash app you 20,000 euro if you just look the other way. Someone's probably going to take it. Someone is, or maybe not even cash up, but like in cash. Maybe it's like a large lump sum of money in cash. Some twisted individual is going to take that bribe. Not everybody. It's not common, but somebody might. The only thing I remember is that article of the guy trying to bribe a police officer with a Pfandbrötchen. Listen, if I was the officer that was attempting to be bribed with Pfandbrötchen, I would fall for it, man. I'd be like, yeah, totally, dude. Go away. You're free to go. I mean, you got me. Pfandbrötchen, that's like the bread I want to try the most in Germany. And I think it's in Hamburg exclusively, maybe in other places, but I heard about it from Hamburg. All right, so this comment here says, for the average German, the risk of losing their career or even freedom is greater than what they could probably make with corruption. There's a high level of corruption, but it's mostly a one hand washes the other type of deal rather than a briefcase full of cash. But there are also a lot of back doors. So oftentimes, something that smells fishy is totally legal. The comment underneath this actually says the typical corruption works like this. Politician. After much discussion and offers from many companies, we decided to give this multi-million oil contract to the company that is owned by my brother, wife, uncle. Day-to-day corruption by low-level state employees is basically unheard of in Germany. So I'm getting the vibe that like everyone's collectively agreeing that corruption doesn't really happen on the low forms, meaning like not everybody can really be a part of the corruption process, but definitely the people up above that have all the money and stuff like that can easily be a part of the corruption party, just because, I mean, they got the money to do it, they got the resources to do it, and who's going to stop them? I mean, they're the 1%. You can't stop the 1%, bro. I mean, no matter how much you try, even the legal system can't stop the 1%. If you're friends with people who work in the legal system, that is a thing, no matter what country you're in. And you guys can dispute that in the comments down below, but I'm a firm believer that you know, you can try to get rid of, you can try to correct or check the 1% if you can, but I feel like they got enough money to collectively, you know, get away with a lot. Unfortunately, here's the last. We're going to cover 2 more comments, and we're going to call it a wrap, right? So this comment right here says, some time ago, I read a report showing that German companies extremely often commit corruption in other countries to win tenders, to gain access to new markets, etc., etc. It was a bit reminiscent of the behavior of German tourists in Mallorca who do their things they would never do at home in Germany. Ooh, like what? Question mark. Fill me in the comments down below, because what would y'all be doing in Mallorca that you can't do in Germany? I mean, y'all already got, you know, the red light district, so what else you doing out there that you can't do in Germany? It's weird that, never mind, I'm gonna get into that. Anyways, so boom. Let me see. We got another comment. This will be the final comment we cover. Let's see if it's good. Ooh, right here. This will be the last one. This is a juicy one. So I saw something that I will remember for the rest of my life due to how low and slimy it was. I was doing a 3-month research internship at uni here in Germany, of course, and after finishing my thesis on the same subject, our working group was ready with the article manuscript, and we sent it out to some of the more reputable publishers because it was fairly good. The one that we wanted the most to give us the call came through, and they pointed to some things that needed clarification before publishing it, and so we did. After all that was done, one of the 2 legally anonymous judges that were overseeing the process emailed my supervisor directly, explaining that he wanted his name on this paper, otherwise he would not give it the green light to get it published. My supervisor, who was the calmest man on the planet, turned into an absolute monster that day. He was scaring everyone off pretty much by how mad he was. He also knew that his publication was important, and not only to me, or he also knew that this publication was important not only to me but the others involved in it. So he agreed to do it in the end, and I myself am still upset about it. So yeah, I mean, when you're in a position of power and stuff, you can put your thumb over people's you know, careers and egos and things like that, and it's messed up. The judge was basically saying, I'm not publishing your manuscript until you put my name on it. I had nothing to do with it, but you know, I will suppress this if you don't, you know, and it's messed up. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Corruption, Germany, does it happen? Does it happen very often? Does it happen on a small scale? Does it happen on a large scale? Does it happen on both? Is it more common on a smaller scale or a larger scale? I would argue that it would be on a pretty common on a larger scale. But have you experienced or witnessed anything like this in like a workplace, or maybe through a friend and stuff like that has experienced something, or a family member? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Love you guys. And as always, stay up, follow me on Twitch, and catch me live while we venture through various horror games and reactions. Peace.